It's 9.2 overs. These two are going along pretty swiftly. 105 already. Itching to see how the last 10 goes.
Good work from Victorious. Right at the start of this innings, we saw some very quick bowling from Nortje. One delivery was 150 k's per hour. Didn't see any of that from Nortje. You don't expect to see that sort of stuff from Nortje right at the start. He was given a job to run in and bowl quickly. But there's no doubt that these Australian batsmen enjoyed that. They liked the fact that the ball was coming on nicely and they fed off him, and he unfortunately got tasted right at the beginning. Oh, that's right out of the middle. That is a big hit again. My goodness, that is outstanding stuff from Warner. 50 up for him as well.
Wow, what a blow by David Warner. Just opens up that right leg. Here's the arms, a slow ball by Dwayne Pretorius. Slightly on the full side. Just the 30 balls for his 50. 2 maximums, 5 boundaries. Playing at a healthy strike rate is David Warner.
Again, just giving himself some room. Just the one this time.
Just have a look at this shot by David Warner. Just opens up that leg ever so slightly. Times it superbly. Shuffle down the wicket as well. And is he in good touch at the moment?
Cleverly opened the blade again. Just the one. So 12 runs off that over. 10 overs gone. Halfway mark now. 114 for none.
Coming up on My 11 Circle.
It's time for Park T20 League. 20th Feb to 22nd March. Total prize pool rupees 1 crore. First prize rupees 25 lakhs.
Make your team now only on My 11 Circle.
The UEFA Euro 2020. Live on the Sony Sports Network.
Partnership in the middle is absolutely superb right now, and we've got a very good one for you in the commentary box. Eric Simons and Tommy Bunwell.
Thank you, Michael. Well, these Australians, they've been fantastic. What a finish. What a start for Australia. Exactly what they'd have wanted. Pummeling the ball to all parts of the park. And they shall not relent, I can tell you.
And that single, just one of the really impressive aspects of the way they've gone about this. There's been a lot of power in between. They haven't done is face many dot balls. They've kept the South African bowlers under pressure every single delivery, be it boundaries or be it singles. They're running between the wicket, as Mike and Jake were saying, has been absolutely superb.
Nicely struck. They're thinking too. They'll get back for a second. Good communication between them. They're very experienced. Have played a long time, and they already have 2 other 100 partnerships. Starting things up here in exactly the fashion that Australia would like. Best partnership for them, 122 against Sri Lanka. It's under threat. Oh, nearly.
Just a glimmer of a hope there. He's at about to fling himself to his right. Not able to get a finger to it. Just a glimmer of a hope. David Warner looking for the boundary. Really holding out. South Africa desperately need that wicket. The other person they're communicating with are the fielders, because every time they set off, the fielder knows a fumble and it's 2. Really are putting them under a lot of pressure, be it the circle or be it the boundary riders.
The last few of us have been relatively good. I say relatively good. If you look at the bottom of the screen, they're 11.24 is the rate they're going at. The last 5 overs has been less than that. Yeah, a few overs of less than 10. The usual's been 10 and more. A retort required by South Africa, perhaps a piece of fielding can inspire and get them back on track here.
Just like that. That's exactly what they do need. Somebody to throw themselves around, get a hand to it, to a catch, make a great stop or run out, whatever it is, just to break the rhythm. Because at the moment it's all in one direction. Rare dot ball.
And also try and get this crowd back. Here they are, silent, watching their home side being smashed. 2 dots. Wow. 119 without loss.
Impression है जमाना, short goal लगाना. Clear short goal. दियो हुआ पुराना short goal का जमाना.
Coming up on my 11 circle.
It's time for Park T20 League. 20th Feb to 22nd March. Total prize pool rupees 1 crore. First prize rupees 25 lakhs.
Make your team now only on my 11 circle.
A lot of credit has got to go to the Australian batsmen. They really have applied the pressure that kept South Africa on the back foot. Balls in the area, being aggressive.
Side here, 12, 10 and a half, 12, and then shouts. 7.33. And he's responsible for the 5 overs where it slowed down. Much chit-chat as they try to get the field exactly right. They will keep going back, no doubt. Everybody will go there to the decision to bowl first. Just a single. Nice. A few dots, just some quiet period. And that's what's required from South Africa, to try and create some sort of pressure. And if they can, perhaps they can get a breakthrough. Need a wicket desperately. Perhaps even need 2 or 3.
And that's the length of ball at Newlands. You just need to get the stumps and just a little bit higher. Every time you bowl in that area, you find the batsman has to take a chance. Even if it does go to the boundary, there's still no reason to stick there. Not to stick there. And there's no key. Shows you disappointment. David Warner can just smile.
It's up. Miller. He takes it. For a second, I feared that Rassie van der Dussen, who was running in from the boundary, was going to absolutely clatter into him, because he only had eyes for the ball. Fortunately, he looked down at the right time. There's the breakthrough. It's Warner who goes. And perhaps this sparks South Africa into action. Australia have been brilliant. Warner responsible for that too.
Hold up, a very good delivery, just top of the off stump. Sharp, short, and very quick. David Miller had to take his time, and he takes it well as a good fielder. And I'll be very happy to see the back of David Warner.
Chapter 21 सीख लिया. अब तो ये सीख. इतना क्या कर रहे हैं? बाप को मत सिखा. Hello.
ए, गैस की दुकान. चल साइड हो.
Impression है जमाना, short goal लगाना. Clear short goal. दियो हुआ पुराना शॉर्ट गोल्ड का है जमाना. Check in, please.
Rupees 3,520 for your single room, sir.
Rupees 2,720 for your single room. What? If you use Trivago, you can scan hotel deals from major booking sites, so you can find a better deal for your hotel room. Try Trivago next time. Hotel Trivago.
Good bumper. Matthew Wade, new man in a 3. What a platform the two seniors have set before him. Strike rate of 111.7, best of 72. With this platform and not too many overs to go, they've wanted to get going pretty much straight away. Must take care though, it was the problem for Australia in the previous game. Oh, come on! Another dot. That's 3 dots in a row.
And that's a short form of the game, but again, it's back to the same plan. You look at Shamsi at the end of his over, the 2 dots. Great delivery from Nortje, and then the bounce for the wicket and another dot. And so you stack it up, and that's how you put together a strategy when the batsmen are going against you. You have to see it as a platform. Even a single at this stage is a great outcome when batsmen are thinking boundaries, and that's the way the bowlers need to think.
Beautiful. No feet that time, perhaps expecting a short one. And he just held back, trying to throw the hands at the ball. What an over this is. Now to close it out, Anrich Nortje is gone for just 1. He's got the wicket of Warner. And then he's bowled a couple more dots after that. And they're not dots to the new man. They're dots to the man who's in, Finch. Work leg side, just a single. So 2 runs in the over in a game that's going at more than 10s. What an over, especially because of the wicket too. 1-1 for 1.
Coming up on My 11 Circle,
It's time for Park T20 League. 20th Feb to 22nd March. Total prize pool rupees 1 crore. First prize rupees 25 lakhs.
make your team now only on My 11 Circle.
Impression है जमाना, तो शॉर्ट गोल्ड लगाना. लिए शॉर्ट गोल्ड. दियो हुआ पुराना शॉर्ट गोल्ड का है जमाना.
Long order, back deep to Australia. Won't need all those, surely not with just 8 overs to go. But those who do turn up have to make sure they do not waste this start. Can't afford to let Australia or to let South Africa back into this game. It's a lot of runs already. Shamsi to finish off. Leg byes.
Certainly the intensity of the running between the wickets. One dropped with Matthew Wade at the wicket. Interesting that he's come in, left-hander. Guess that gone with the left-hander, right-hander play, and Steve Smith would generally have come in number 3, but with the start they've got, decided to go with the left-hander, Matthew Wade. He's another player that can be unorthodox, hit the ball into different areas, and that's what you need in T20. And they probably communicated back to the change as well. Maybe not quite as easy to find the boundaries. The ball's in good areas, so Matthew Wade, a good foil for someone like Aaron Finch.
Beautiful. The batsmen were able to just walk out there and get started pretty much straight away. They try to impose themselves on the game, make sure that they get to the tempo of the game pretty quickly. It's not an easy thing to do.
That's one of the reasons I'm a bit surprised Steve Smith. He's one of the best in the world. I don't know how many bowling meetings I've sat in, and there are a few batsmen you talk about for ages. One of them would be David Warner, Aaron Finch would be one, Quinton de Kock would be one, and certainly Steve Smith would be one. You talk a long time about them trying to find the plans.
Just looks left-right combination might be what they're going after. Oh, it's close, you know. It's out. It's out. There you go. Shamsi has bowled well in this game. He deserved that one. He deserved at least one. It's the big one. Finch.
Certainly is indeed. And he's put together last 11 or 12 balls. 11 or 12 balls is what's brought this wicket. We often talk about batting teams getting into a speed wobble in these situations. They're going at 12, they want to keep going. And you have to feed off that as a bowling attack. You have to understand what our opposition want to do. And Shams has done exceptionally well.
Coming up on my 11 circle,
It's time for Park T20 League. 20th Feb to 22nd March. Total prize pool rupees 1 crore. First prize rupees 25 lakhs.
make your team now only on my 11 circle.
NDB Bank Cup, Sri Lanka versus West Indies ODI Series, third ODI, Sunday, 1st March, live and exclusive on Sony 6.
Something to celebrate. They'll be in this game. It looked too much one-way traffic whilst Finch and Warner were going. I said maybe with Smith not coming in at 3, might be a left-hand, right-hand combination scenario. Perhaps not. He's not coming again at 4. It's Mitchell Marsh who's come out. He's a big hitter. Loves to whack him. Can he whack him straight away? That's the question.
The other question is, does the situation need it? And this will show you the wicket, but it really has been 12 really good deliveries between Shamsi and Nortje. Applying the pressure, stopping the boundaries. The odd dot ball, a lot of singles as well in between. And needs Aaron Finch to make a mistake that needs to use his minds. Great delivery, great bowling by Aaron Shamsi.
Yeah, Shamsi was really good because he bowled well at him particularly. Single to finish. Spell is done. A good day out for Tabrez Shamsi. 1 for 25 with it.
Check in, please.
Rupees 3,520 for your single room, sir.
Rupees 2,720 for your single room. What if you use Trivago? You can scan hotel deals from major booking sites, so you can find a better deal for your hotel room. Try Trivago next time. Hotel Trivago.
The UEFA Euro 2020, live on the Sony Sports Network.
There's a young kid here from Saldanha who was one of the KFC boys as well, so it's quite a cool experience. I'm definitely enjoying the chicken and all the other burgers. I thought you might be.
What's your take on the surface? A little bit of a worry coming in. How do you think it's played?
I think it's played beautifully. Shamsi stopped the game for the protest in the middle, but I was here yesterday doing an interview down there, and they were rolling the pitch quite a lot, so I suspected it to be a good one. And the wind normally dries it out here at Newlands, which will make the ball come on a bit better.
South Africa can chase whatever.
100% for the young Quentin de Kock, they can chase whatever they want to.
And the other thing is, Daniel was saying you should have played 2 spinners. Of course he thought we should have played 2
Not
spinners.
me, not
Back
me.
to you, boys.
Well, I hope you wouldn't expect him to say anything else, those two, about what would be chased on the air. He'll be happier, no doubt, now with the score 125 for 2 and things having slowed down. The run rate has dipped below 10. So it's South Africa in this little phase. I'll call it 4, 5, maybe 6 overs that have controlled things. It's Rabada now into the attack.
Just a single to the extra cover fence, but it is so important in these situations to read the game well. I spoke about it, speed wobble. It often happens, teams are going at 10, 11, 12 and they think they need a code, but sometimes in these conditions you need to understand you actually need to slow down, and that's the way the game needs to be played. It maybe isn't about boundaries. The problem with South Africa is that you have to have a good start when you chase a big number on a surface like this, and I'm not so sure about how good a surface is going to be. I still see the ball holding up. Even that one just held up a little bit from Hisa Rabada. So it's going to be tough batting second with a big number.
And already we can say that the number is going to be big relative to what we get here in Cape Town. At the rate they're going now, they'll get 187. That's a lot of runs. It's a lot of runs to try and chase down in 20 overs in Cape Town. You heard Sean Pollock and Dane Pete saying, well, South Africa will chase down anything on here. They have to believe that. Nearly. Good running. It's going to be important here as they try to rebuild Australia to get the running between the wickets going. And that's the way you put it together. That's the way you put 10 together in these situations when the wicket isn't coming on perhaps as you'd like it. What Quinton de Kock is backing is that by bowling first, that the wicket actually gets better. And what he's going to have to do is have a good start, because otherwise it's going to be really tough to be chasing 11s and 12s the back end of innings. There he goes, Mitchell Marsh with some power. 6. A better way to get your innings going. Mitchell Marsh walked out there. He's a big hitter, he certainly is. But that's just something he's always been good at. That length, he's able to get underneath it. Allows him to put that one into the crowd. And certainly when you're in the T20 game and you're coming in this situation and you want to score quickly, there's no better way than to put a 6 in on the scoreboard early. Hey, perhaps that breaks the shackles as well. They've been trying just to get themselves going, Australia, and not going so well. Decides to go full. Control things, control the direction of the ball. 10 off that one. It's 135 for 2.
Chapter 21 सीख लिया अब तू ये सीख इतना क्या कर रहे हैं बाप को मत सिखा हेलो
ए गैस की दुकान चल साइड हो
इंप्रेशन है जमाना शॉर्ट गोल्ड लगाना लिए शॉर्ट गोल्ड दियो हुआ पुराना शॉर्ट गोल्ड का है जमाना.
Sure, him and Aaron Finch ran well. They put the fielders under pressure, got the ball wrong. Often was the case. On the ground for 4s or 6s. He's exceptional play in these conditions. And the ball's in his area. He knows how to deal with it.
You say when the ball is in his area, Eric, the problem is his area is quite big. Look at that, all round the park he gets the runs.
And that's exactly why I say when you sit in a bowling meeting, you're playing against David Warner, the conversation is a long one because he can score in a lot of areas. And so you've got to be quite patient with him. You've got to understand that he can score in a lot of areas, but you've got to sometimes choose one and stay there, not allow him to dictate tactics.
Pretorius back into the attack. Big part of the game. Just like in Port Elizabeth for South Africa, this must be a new part of the game. We're into the death now. There's 6 overs to go. And they've got to forget about the start where they got things horribly wrong and disappear to all parts and try and win this last phase. Because if they don't, well, they'll be chasing plenty.
One of the important parts about bowling in these phases is to ask the right question. And what the bowler needs to ask himself is, where's my single? 2 singles in a row. And this is the kind of thing that builds pressure in these moments. You go for less than 10, less than 9 because you bowled them really good balls into areas that your fielders are. You bowl to your funnel. You create the funnel on the leg side to the left-hander. And you bowl to your funnel as it is, where your fielders are on the fence. You create ones, and that's what builds pressure. So that's the question the bowler needs to ask himself. Where is my single? And how do I bowl to it? Be it myself as a bowler or be it the batter I'm up against. And that's important. Bowl to your fielders on the boundary. And if you don't get dots, make sure it's just one.
Bowling, no pace. Slower delivery, and any pace you give to Mitchell Marsh, he'll be happy with. Fine leg and third man up in the circle. It suggests that he'll be quite straight. It suggests that he'll also not be putting any pace on the ball.
He's got man back. 5 back or square leg, mid wicket, mid on, mid off, long off, and then on the extra cover fence.
Oh, harsh umpire Bongani Jele, they're saying nah, despite him moving that way. Look at this, he goes across, and whilst he's across there, he's gone, that's wide. If you're standing there, that hits you on the hip.
problem is, Tommy, that there isn't a definitive rule on this, and it's interpretation, which is something I do find frustrating. They need to absolutely clarify that rule. Yeah, good bowling. All very good bowling. Every time you see a single now, it's a win for South Africa. If they keep this down to under 9 and over, it's going to apply pressure. They're thinking boundaries for the batsmen. That's what they've been sent out to do, and every time they don't get one, they feel the pressure coming from the dugout. Yeah, excellent work. Since the 10th over, there's just been the one boundary, and that's the 6th that Mitchell Marsh hit. So it's a good phase for South Africa. Oh, that's nearly gone onto the stumps. Oh, dear. And he's nearly set off running as well. Pandemonium at Newlands. In the end, dot. And another good over. Going to finish this one well now. Just the 3 singles on the wide. Again, it just shows you, I think, lack of pace in the wicket. And I think the Australians have got to learn from this if they want to maximise the last 5 overs in South Africa. And they bet. But it is absolute chaos. But sometimes happens in this game of T20 cricket. Quinton de Kock, that's shocking. He wouldn't have got it in another set of goals. Couldn't finish the over off. Bang, out of there. 6. Gone for 10. It's 145 for 2.
Coming up on My 11 Circle.
It's time for Park T20 League. 20th Feb to 22nd March. Total prize pool, rupees 1 crore. First prize, rupees 25 lakhs.
Make your team now only on My 11 Circle.
Actually, might not have been a slow one, just a normal pace delivery. Couldn't have missed a Yorker by that much, surely not. It's 6 anyway. Australia will take it any day. Top shot. Dropped in the crowd too. It's not one hand, one bounce, mate. No. 145 for 2. 5 overs to go. Just how many can Australia get? Mark and Sean to tell you about the rest.
That's slapped, that's dragged down the length, but he's going to get away with it. Just the single. You can see the variations that Ngiddi's used tonight.
Murmur of concern around Newlands. This will take some catching. De Kock with the gloves, it has to be. Oh, it's brilliant. Whoa! See, cleared the way first, signalling to those charging in to get out of the way, which they did. Oh, that has gone up and almost come down with ice on it.
Yeah, you often see this at the ground when there's a bit of a stiff breeze operating around the stadium. The last minute fielders have to make a little bit of an adjustment. The concern while the ball in the air would have been about making sure no one interrupted the process for Quinton de Kock. You saw the wonders with Shamsi that got in his way. That time he screamed loudly, but he almost forgot to get the hands back together and then had to launch himself forward. Anyway, it worked out just fine for Quinton de Kock. Third wicket goes down. Wade, 10 off 9 deliveries. Experiment for sending before Smith, really working. Australia now 146 for 3.
Here we go again. Sean Marsh is pounding this cricket ball. say Sean Marsh, but if he was here, he would be. Mitchell Marsh is the one out there pounding it. That ball, I cannot tell you how quickly that ball's gone to the boundary. The fielder's going to have a lot to do down there, and they have no chance.
So I'm going to be disappointed with it. When you pick up a wicket, you feel like you've got 2 or 3 balls where maybe you can build some pressure and get the batsman to think about what the next option is. That was a bit of a freebie, and boy, boy, did he hammer it.
I think that the feeling amongst the South Africans would be don't pitch it up. So they want to bang it in and force him back. He's less good off the back foot than he's off the front foot. This is another look at the catch. See, de Kock's got to Pretorius. There was somebody else there out of the way. Always harder when they come up high and then down, so almost straight down underneath you, on top of you, I should say. That's a good grab. South Africa's captain. Out! Oh, that's important. Going to be reviewed. Marsh is convinced that sliding down the leg side.
He turned to Steve Smith, and Steve Smith indicated no, going down the leg side, send it upstairs, and he didn't even hesitate, did Mitchell Marsh. It's always going to be a tight one. He does the stage of the innings walk onto the off stump almost to try and prevent the wide Yorkers and make sure the bowler has to bowl in the slot.
Yeah, he sort of has to have done that, I think, for it to be hitting middle and leg, because if he stayed where he started, you would imagine the angles would mean it could be missing. It's hit him on the full toss, of course.
Even now, it has to be missing completely. Is it going to be umpire's call, or is it going to be sliding down the leg side? And where Steve Smith was standing, he believes it's missing. And you can see that right foot's on off stump. Yeah, I think that could just be missing. If it is, it's just a faint tip on the leg stump.
Yeah, I think it's maybe missing full stop. Actually. But it is very full. The nearer the ball is to the stumps, when it pitches, or in this case doesn't pitch, if that makes any sense. If you know what I mean, the more likely it is to be out. Missing.
Yeah, good review on the angle, missing comfortably in the end. The funny thing is that the laws as they stand, no single for that delivery. It's a dot ball, even though it hit the pad, went down to fine leg, they crossed over comfortably. Because he was given out, and it's reviewed and overturned. What happened after the decision was made means the ball's dead ball, no run.
It's a subject of great controversy. Imagine that with a single needed to win the World Cup final. One for 3. I actually think it's a reasonable interpretation because, by definition, with the appeal, everybody stops to wait for the answer. Given in that case the appeal goes on, should the decision review, well, I can understand why it's been decided as it has. This is Aaron Finch playing an array of strokes around the ground. He came out with almost ferocious intent, I'd call it, against the new ball, determined to take advantage of the power play, the first 6 overs, which he did quite brilliantly, to add. Very strong man who hits it at big distances. 55 he made in just 37 balls. Great opening partnership with David Warner. Too wide. Just too wide. Sort of a round arm, pitching slower ball.
Yeah, I think the fact that he's moved across means you don't call that a wide. And look at where he starts as the delivery is bowled. He's probably 1.5 foot outside your stump. I think you've got to give the bowler a little bit of leeway when a batsman moves.
Right as well, I think. So this over hasn't started yet. And Pretorius thinks he's bowled 2 pretty clever balls to a batsman moving across the crease. They're 2 very difficult decisions for an umpire to make. You can argue both ways. tend to think in favour of the bowler, but that, of course, isn't the way an umpire would think. Oh, no, that's why that has to be. Oh.
Sort of a lot of this St George's Park, which once we discussed it with the players afterwards, the surface was holding a bit and difficult to get away. There's been lots of swinging and missing by the new batsman coming for crease in particular. It's gentle. He's just holding up a bit, and the cutters are gripping nicely in the pitch.
I don't think they're gripping quite to the effect of St George's Park. Would you agree with that? It seems to me you can still hit through the ball.
Definitely can predict the pace better than they were able to do at St George's. Steve Smith, what's he going to get up to? Shifted down the order today. He'll come in at number 3 or 4, coming in at 5. He's an inventive batsman at times, and I'll be surprised if we see a few unorthodox shots at the back end here.
That's great fielding. Speed of the ball, clean pick-up and release from David Miller. Left alone by Pretorius because he thought it might hit the stumps. Should be caught. Yep, that's important. Mitchell Marsh is a mighty ball striker. Ray Shamsi, the man who clings on, much to the joy of this crowd who have got involved as the wickets have fallen.
There's a lot of belief in the T20 circuit that if you've got a big hitter, you want to try and keep it out of his eye line. I've seen a few examples this over where Pretorius is trying to go as wide as he possibly can, bordering on the wide line and making sure that it's outside the line of Mitchell Marsh, who swung hard in that over. I think there's 4 examples of him going hard at the deliveries. Eventually he gets back on ball, but it just pops up in the air for bowled Pretorius. 155 for 4, Marsh gone for 19.
Marsh climbs the stairs under the watchful eye of the security guards that go with the players these days. Already Alex Carey's out there, Smith's on strike, we're ready to go again. What a stop. Wow. That's why they come. That's why they flock in. That's why you sell out matches in T20 cricket. Everybody's involved, and believe me, if you can't field like that, you might not get in the team.
This is the man who had to go through a fitness test to get onto the field today, Andre Klaasen, a hip issue. He hasn't done any damage there, but there's commitment. He stops the ball, the head hits the ground, the glasses go flying. Once he grabs onto it again, commitment and dedication.
Yeah, it's good to see Klaasen back in the side. Still no Temba Bavuma. I hope he makes it for the one-day games, though quite which batsman they leave out would be difficult to be sure of. Carey wants 2, won't get it. South Africa inching their way back into this game. 159 for 4.
Have a look at the wicket again. Wide cutter. Swing as hard as he possibly can. He was just thinking leg side. No adjustment to maybe whack it straight down the ground or over the offside. He wanted to drag it to the leg side, and the extra bounce from Pretorius with the slow delivery means it pops up in the air. Shamsi watches it nice and closely.
Oh, actually, it's a replay that Mitchell Marsh will be interested in because it's very similar to the way he got out in Port Elizabeth the other day, getting it wide and full, cutting it, taking the pace off it. He throws everything at it. It's an attempt to stroke based on power, not timing. And he's got no control over the back. where South Africa was so good in Port Elizabeth and indeed in the games against England, actually.
Projected after, I think it was 5 overs, Australia were looking at 210, maybe even 220. Current rate, 188 is the score they'll post. 18 over 184, 10 over 189. So that'd be a good job of pulling things back for South Africa.
Still a lot of balls left though. 16 now. 161, what did they settle for? 190, 185, probably they'd settle for.
Disappointed not to get somewhere near 195, 200.
I meant what South Africa settled for, sorry, not the Australians. No, I agree, the Australians will want more than that.
South Africa, I think anything 180 would be fantastic.
Much harder to start. You come in when that ball's old and soft. Bowlers are feeling a bit better about themselves, having sampled a couple of wickets. Got the radar right.
Australia will be a little bit disappointed though. Giddy, we've seen his tendencies. Basically got the orthodox delivery and that off-cut the slow ball, which has bowled a brilliant effect. But at this stage of the series, you do think some of the batsmen might have worked out when it's coming and been able to make it tight. It's 2 in a row. One was missed, the other one just gets a little bit of bat on. Four deliveries.
It's a reminder about how you've got to set your side up in T20 cricket, how different it is to bat, in the first 6, 7, 8, 9 overs and as against the last 4 or 5. You need people who can deal with both. They've moved Steve Smith around here. He would have batted higher, but they want to have another look at Wade and Marsh. A whole lot easier against the new ball when it's coming onto the bat. You can hit through it with your strength. It is when it's old that you've got to have a bit more flexibility in those wrists.
5 from 5. What does Ngidi decide to do? He's bowled 2 slow balls in the last 2 deliveries to Smith. Is he thinking, well, he's predicting it's going to be another one? Do I change it up or do I follow through on the same delivery?
That's the super over. 4 singles and a 2 at this stage. This is the right result. 165 for 4. Stuff from Shamsi tonight. 4 overs, 8 dot balls, terrific. 125. Bowling! Ramada followed the straight. Lovely.
Brilliant from Kakisa Rabada to come back into the attack and to nail a Yorker straight away is not easy. You want to check the front foot. Test match, Kakisa Rabada on this ground, and a wicket taken away from him because of a no ball. He's hoping by all hopes that he's behind. He's not. That's comfortably over. So that not only is not a wicket, Steve Smith will come back to the crease, and boy, oh boy, he's got himself a free hit.
It's the cruelest reversal. I know that it's crime committed by a bowler, but boy, the penalty you pay for it. Got away without a boundary off the extra ball, or the free hit, I should say.
Yeah, it was a great delivery, but unfortunately, you do have to stay behind the line. You normally tell KG's back foot never lands anywhere near that stump. He's always comfortably behind it, so I knew he was going to be struggling. The delivery was perfect. She got some batsmen.
Not many people who bowled middle stump through their legs, are there? Nutmeg.
I think he got a bit of bat on it, and it went off the bottom edge onto the stumps. The realization of the South African fans. I'm not happy with KG. I think he knew that as a bowler you do know too. You know that you've stretched, you're aware of where the stumps are and where you're supposed to land, the proximity.
Look at the pain you cause people, KG. Oh, it's a little chipper. Dropped. Shelled it on the move at pace. Look here. Never had any control over his body, no steady base from which to hold the catch. Once you're sliding on your knees and your hands, oh, what an over this is proving to be for Australia.
Oh, tipping full toss. Sometimes a difficult one to deal with. Nortje can just pop it onto the leg side. Just did all the hard yards that Nortje to the wrong part of the hand.
Oh, that's a pretty good comeback. He'll be worried about the front foot, but there's no signal from the umpire that there's a problem. So I think we can now say, bowled in.
I'm surprised he's not going to go and little check. He's just having a look at the umpire's direction. But you've seen two great deliveries from Rabada in this over. One, the Yorker, when you try and hit that area, hit it perfectly. When you hit the slow ball, this is the length you want to hit, top of the stumps. That gives it the best opportunity to grip on the surface and deceive the batsman. Brilliantly bowled. Just makes contact with those zinc bails. And eventually, South Africa, after a few opportunities, get their wicket in the over.
Here we go. It's still a good time. That's a good one, Nick.
Always leave it on. Because Sony Sports has the best international sporting action. 200 days of live cricket, 700 live football matches, UEFA Champions League, Serie A, power-packed WWE action, and marquee events. India Tour of Australia, UEFA Euro 2020, and the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games.
Rashinagar, the new batsman, on strike to Rabada. .172 on the board, 7 balls remain, score that threatened to be 200. Has been controlled in the latter stages of the innings by this brilliant use of the various slower balls.
You see Quigley's reaction as he took that ball. As if to say, eventually. But that's the length, great length.
Smith has got himself a strike for the final over of the innings. It's 173.5. That is a revealing graphic, John.
Yeah, plenty of big overs up front, but nothing above 10 from the 10th over on. It shows us Africa. And look at all the wickets at the bottom, 5 of them to fall.
This might be 6. Yep. The way to feel that eased across there, you thought, well, he's just eyeing this up. But Steve Smith has got a lot of it with that free swing of his bat.
A lot of mistimed shots at the back end of this innings because of the nature of the surface and the game plans, but that one not mistimed at all. It was a slow delivery, but too full. And easy for Smith just to swing those arms. He still wouldn't have been convinced. I don't think it was anywhere out of exactly the middle, but comfortably over.
Now the heat's right on Nortje here, bowling at One of the world's great players. Now that could be caught by somebody. There's a lot of ground to cover. No. Wasn't sure at first about Faf du Plessis from mid-on. And I'm not sure that Klassen was quite full pelt in the early stages of his approach to that ball. Difficult.
I thought he could have taken another step or half a step. He dived a little bit too early. Captain's watching, wishing that it goes into the hands. So I think he launched himself just a touch too early.
Courageous. And safe too. Smith is one of the great improvisers for all his excellence in Test match cricket, his consistency, his hours of concentration. Almost miraculous to see some of the improvised shots that he plays. It's another look at Klassen. Tumbling. Oh, dream shot. That is the stroke of the innings. Don't worry about that. You can watch a lot of cricket and never see anybody hit the ball like that over, never mind extra cover, squarish cover. Extraordinary timing.
That's a brilliant shot. 143 kilometers an hour. And that's a stance that Steve Smith's not uncomfortable taking. And contact, brilliant. The pace on the ball makes it easier, yes. It takes nothing away from how good a shot that is.
Little game changer this innings from Steve Smith. Shows you the premium on not taking wickets when you bowl no balls. He's 28 now from 14 balls, and his last over is a game changer. So far, 6-2-2, 6-2. There's still one ball left.
They shifted him down the order. They wanted other people that felt were better suited to scoring the quicker runs. He's shown them.
Yes, I think it's quite a clever move by the Australians if they're thinking of it permanently because of his flexibility. I don't suppose they will think of it permanently because they want to get the crease for as long as they can. But Smith has played quite brilliantly there. And that is the assault that we've been waiting for, and it does take the score past 190.
196, I think it was, at the one distance is the last delivery ball run to come back for two. South Africa win the toss, they put them into bat, Australia. And the opening pair were dynamic, 120 or 11.3 overs. And South Africa did a good job of putting things back, picking up 5 wickets. And as Mark mentioned, the last over of 20 would just say things definitely swung in the favour of Australia. 193, a good score on the surface. Looks like it's holding, but once that ball gets off.